Thank you all for tuning in. My name is Natalie Davis. Today you are listening in to learn more about how to literally stand up for your health. Today we'll talk about small lifestyle changes that can actually lead to radical results. These results benefit your health and can help you manage your weight as well. Today in the US, about 64% of Americans are overweight or obese, and sedentary behaviors can lead to negative health effects. As this continues to be a growing problem in our nation, I feel it's important to address ways in which we can incorporate more movement into our day-to-day lives. Get up and move more. The average American spends virtually 80% of their waking hours seated. Now, this percentage is obviously different for everyone, but most of us don't really stop and think about how much time we actually spend sitting down, and especially at work. So take a moment to reflect on a typical work day. Think about how much time you spend sitting down. For example, how you get to work, how you spend your meetings, how you take your phone calls, and how you spend your lunch break. Most of the day is actually spent sitting down, but it doesn't have to be. With that being said, we'll go over our objectives for today. First off, we'll talk a little bit about how times were different back in the day and compare it to now, and how they managed their weight a little bit more effortlessly back then. I'll define NEAT for you, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. We'll review some interesting research studies. I'll show you some NEAT, non-exercise strategies to get more movement into your day, and then we'll go over some health benefits of NEAT. So let's go back about 50 years. There were very few gyms. People rarely exercised. However, few people struggled with being overweight. There was not the obesity and overweight epidemic that we have going on today. And you may ask yourself, why is this the case? Well, back in the day, they moved more. 50s and 60s, not everyone owned a car, so there was a lot more biking to work, walking to work, and also jobs were much less active. In our technology-driven era today, with mobile phones, emailing, texting, it leaches a lot of that NEAT activity or non-exercise activity to go walk and talk to a coworker, or go walk and mail a letter, or go to the library for your research. With the internet at our fingertips, we have all of these resources right in front of us, with washing machines, dishwashers, elevators. It takes a lot of the movement out of our day. Also nutrition. There were less processed foods in the 50s, and food preparation was actually more labor intensive. So from the evolution of these factors, now we can talk about how we can get non-exercise activity back into our day. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis is a big part of your calorie burning metabolism. There are two subtypes of physical activity. There's exercise and there's non-exercise. So exercise is the sport-like, volitional exercise that you go to do with the intentions of gaining physical fitness. Non-exercise is everything else. So it's the physical activity or the calories we burn living our everyday lives. And to show you just how influential non-exercise activity is, here's the breakdown of our daily calorie burn. 60% is due to your basal metabolic rate. It's the calories your body uses to keep your body functioning. Your heart beating, your brain thinking, your organs working. And 10% is the thermic effect of food. And this is the calories you burn digesting what you eat. And last but not least, most importantly, 30% of your calorie burn is due to activity thermogenesis. And this is where non-exercise activity falls into play. So it's easy to see how the loss of constant non-exercise activity has decreased our natural calorie burn. Just standing burns 3 times as many calories as sitting. So me giving this presentation to you seated, I'm burning 3 times as many calories as you are. Non-exercise activity is standing, walking, gardening, washing your dishes, mowing the lawn, walking your dog, that type of activity, just extra movement throughout your day. A recent study, 6-month study of 464 women reported that women doing the equivalent of just 10 minutes of walking a day shrunk nearly 2 inches off their waistline. Non-exercise activity seems to tap into belly fat stores first, so you'll not only look good, but you'll be healthier because intra-abdominal fat, or the fat surrounding your vital organs in your middle, creates a higher risk for health issues. Another interesting study was on boosting energy. In a recent study on how exercise can be used to treat fatigue, researchers assigned 36 inactive men and women to one of 3 groups. The first group did moderate exercise activity for 20 minutes 3 times a week, the recommended daily activity. The second group did low intensity activity like leisurely walking for 20 minutes 3 times a week, and the third group, or the control group, had no activity. As a result, the low intensity group reported a 65% drop in fatigue, and the moderate intensity exercising group reported a 49% drop in fatigue. So as you can see, the low intensity or non-exercise activity group showed a greater drop in fatigue than those that were exercising at a more intense level. So now let's talk about the health benefits of non-exercise activity. When you sit for a few hours, the enzymes that break down triglycerides or blood fats start to switch off. Your capillaries, which are tiny blood vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrient-rich blood throughout your body, they are lined with endothelial cells that assist with blood flow. These cells contain this enzyme whose job it is to break down the fat molecules in the blood. When you're sitting and these enzymes are starting to switch off, your activity levels plummet and your blood lipid levels increase. Dancing is also shown to be a brain-saving activity as it boosts blood flow to the brain and in turn triggers positive biochemical changes. The risk for metabolic syndrome, which is a collection of health risks, increases 26% for every hour spent watching TV. However, the good news is that every 30 minutes spent in NEAT activity, it provides a similar degree of protection. So NEAT activity is important. The mere act of standing actually burns 3 times as many calories as sitting down. So whenever you can at work, stand up, move around. And also, as I had said before, NEAT seems to tap into belly fat. Not only are there health benefits of NEAT activity, but there are physical benefits as well. For example, better posture, a greater range of motion from moving more, better sleep, building muscles from standing and being active, having more energy. Basically, NEAT activity keeps your blood moving throughout the day and kind of gives you a little buzz. Higher productivity, more focused at work when you're moving around, and a loss of belly fat.